Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Sand Meat Market Jacob Willett Show, where we cover everything on the diamond with the Chuckey-Doak Black Knights baseball team. As always, I'm joined here with head baseball coach Jacob Willett. We're actually on the diamond today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Got a beautiful backdrop behind us. I think I'd mentioned it to you right before this. There's not many places in East Tennessee that's going to have as beautiful as a backdrop as this, but you've got it here at Chuckey-Doak for sure.
Right. We've got a great view from the field here. We're doing some work on the field. We're trying to make it become a ballpark, not just a field, but a ballpark, a place where kids want to come play. That's our main thing here. We want an attractive program where guys want to come play, and you can't beat a view like this. But we're still working towards building up our facilities, getting some funding coming in to do some renovations. But it's a beautiful place to play, and I'm proud of what we're doing as a program.
If you've ever watched a game here at Chuckey-Doak, you know what a treat it is to be able to watch the game and have those mountains in the backdrop too. And unfortunately, I don't think any other games will be played here unless you get to a certain point during the postseason, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But going out to West Green later on for the district tournament, I know you'll be playing there tomorrow. We won't touch on it too much. Oh, yeah, that is right. You do play one more here. Mm-hmm. I forget that it's a satellite during the first game. But talk about how excited you are that the postseason's right around the corner now.
It's exciting. It's stressful. It's one of those things where we're looking forward to it. We're hoping that we've prepared our guys the best that we could. We're doing what we can right now with the yesterday and today to get some stuff cleaned up, get things fine-tuned, get ready to go. We're looking forward to playing a great baseball team. It'll be either West Green or Hampton. Just based off how they've played phenomenal baseball this season, I wouldn't be shocked if it's West Green. They're playing great baseball. They got a great baseball team. They're coached really well. So that's kind of what we're preparing for right now is West Green. If Hampton beats them, we'll have Hampton. But more than likely, I would say it'll be West Green just because of the caliber of ball that they've played throughout the year and the kind of talent that they got. And it's scary going and playing a team you beat by one run twice. It's kind of the same situation that we're in with South Green. Right? South Green beat us twice. We know we're pretty evenly matched. It's tough to beat a team 3 times.
That's exactly what I was about to say. It's tough to beat a team 3 times, and you're kind of on both sides of that coin with South Green and West Green.
Yeah, right. We're in a predicament here, but we win, we'll probably see South Green again. We lose, we got to fight back out of the losers bracket. But regardless of what happens, our guys got a chance to come win a conference championship. We've put ourselves in a spot where we win a couple games, we're conference champions. We've got the ability to do so. We've got to come together as a family and as a unit, play together, and know that the guy beside you is doing it for you. You're doing it for the guy beside you. Your brothers. Go out, play together, execute together, play together, do it for each other. That's what we're trying to get guys to do right now.
And to close out the regular season, we sat down last week after those 2 huge wins over Morristown East and Pigeon Forge, and you had 4 games on the last half of your regular season schedule. You had Morristown East again, followed by North Green, Victory Christian, and FCA to close out the regular season on Monday. Take me through those 4 games you've had in the last time we've sat down and talked and how you fared in each of them.
So we'll just go in order. Morristown East was our last Thursday. We didn't play bad baseball. They just had more hits than we did. They had some good 2-out hits. We didn't. That's really what that game resulted in. We played well defensively. We pitched it pretty good. They just had more hits than we did. So not discouraged at all by what I saw in the Morristown East game. I thought we played pretty well. I just thought we could have executed a little better offensively to win that game. North Green, we pitched it well. Christian did a really good job. Our defense was really good. I don't think we made many mistakes at all. Offensively, you hold a team to 2 runs through 7 innings, you should have a really good chance of winning the game. I would say 9 times out of 10 you win the game if you hold a run or hold a team. Right. But unfortunately, we only scored 2 runs through 6 innings. That's not great. We could do more things. We got to execute better situationally. If we got a guy on third base with less than 2 outs, we got to find a way to score him. You cannot have a strikeout with less than 2 outs if you got a runner in scoring position. You can't have it. We've had it a couple of times. Sometimes we've popped it up. Sometimes we've just not got them in. We've got to find a way to know that there is nothing that matters in this moment other than me chopping the ball to the shortstop, second baseman, doing a job to get him in. Whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes to get him across the plate. Whether it be you swinging at a pitch in the other batter's box to chop a ball to the second baseman to score that runner with 0 or 1 outs, that's selflessness. That's what we need. That's selflessness. Sacrificing your at bat for the betterment of our team. And we've got guys taking big swings in those situations. Big swings, trying to do too much, trying to be the hero. And I get it. You want to be the guy to come through and hit a ball over the wall. But that's not what we need in that moment, right? So that it's putting the guys beside you in front of yourself, saying, I'll give my at bat up and chop a ball to the second baseman to score that run in order for us to win this game. That's what we need. Or maybe you're asked to get down a bunt. Okay, I need to get this bunt down because it gives us the best chance of winning in this moment. It's what Coach thinks is going to give us an advantage to win this game. I'll execute it. No problem. That's what we need. We go into the conference tournament with that approach, we'll be just fine. If we put me over, or saying in the locker room, we over me, we greater than me. If it's me greater than we will struggle. If it's we greater than me, we will come out victorious, I believe. So it's up to those guys to commit to that philosophy. So the North Green game, with us only having two runners that scored through 6 innings, that shows that we were taking some selfish swings. Because we had guys in the opportunities to score. We had guys second, third. We had multiple chances to score. We had multiple base running mistakes. Multiple guys taking big swings. So if we just correct those few things, we're not in the situation. A lot of people know what happened in the 7th inning there. We're not in that situation to begin with. We're out of here after we got the last out in the top half of the 7th because the game's over. Because we've either won 3-2 or 6-2, depending on how many times we executed in that situation. But unfortunately, we didn't. So we had bases loaded, no outs, in the bottom of the 7th in a 2-2 game. We hit a ground ball up the middle. Shortstop makes a good play, throws it home. Catcher drops the ball. We score. We storm the field. We're celebrating. Umpire calls him out at home. I'm not sure in my time with baseball that I've seen a call made like that, but it happened. It happened. And it's frustrating because you feel like you deserve the win. You feel like you played the better game. You feel like you just scored the winning run in the 7th inning, right? Because that'd be 3-2. That would end the game. You feel like you've scored more through 7 innings, but just to have it taken away from you, it feels like. And it's discouraging. It's frustrating. North Green played a good game. I just felt like we played a little better, and we didn't get the result that we wanted. Now, extra innings is a different story. They played much better in extra innings than we did. But why is that? Our guys had a huge letdown there, a huge letdown. And then the next guy hits the ball deep center, we forget to tag. It happens. We got to be better the next time it happens, but it happened. It shouldn't, but it did. So 2 chances to win the game right there, huge letdown. We didn't get it done. So now 2 outs. We ended up not scoring. To go back out, Christian was over his pitch mark. Gavin came in, did a great job. Should have got up, 3 down. Unfortunately, we had a couple of mistakes in extra innings. They ended up getting a hit after we made a couple of mistakes to bust the game open. They took a 3-run lead. We didn't respond well to adversity in that moment. So looking forward to the conference tournament, this North Green game is a great example of a really similar team that we'll see in the conference tournament. With it being West Green and South Green, all the county schools play really similar. Mm-hmm. They're all really similar in skill levels, talent levels. It shows that North Green's got a good team. They would be right up there with us in our conference. It shows that we can compete with teams like that, and we may be even a little better. But they're going to score runs. How do we respond? We came back out in the bottom half of the 7th, and it felt like we were done. It felt like when we played Pigeon Forge, looking back to the following week when we were up 6-0 on Pigeon Forge going into the bottom half of the 7th, or the top half of the 7th. That team knows how to win. They've won a lot. They're well coached. They punched us in the mouth in the last inning. They said, "We are a state champion caliber baseball team. We will not go down lightly." We went down lightly in that situation. They did not. Right now, that's the difference. Our guys got to figure out, if we get hit, how do we hit back? How do we respond? So that's discouraging, seeing our guys kind of respond that way in extra innings. But at the same time, it shows that we play clean baseball. We're in every game. How do we respond next time? Because I hope the guys learn from that game.
It's a great learning experience going into this point of the season, too, because that's a game that you can't have a situation like that again at this point, because odds are it's either going to put you in the loser's bracket where you can't face another situation like that, or you're in the loser's bracket, or just a straight up elimination game, and that adversity could ultimately end your season.
Right. So hopefully we've taken what we learned out of that, saying, hey, we made mistakes, but we're still in the game ultimately.
Yeah.
We still have an opportunity, and as long as we have an opportunity, we got a chance. So we got to fight. That's really the motto from that. We have to fight. We have to respond to adversity. We got to handle pressure situations, and we got to fight back. Don't go down lightly. Don't hang your head. Don't drop the shoulders. Don't bow your composure. Keep your head held high. Go down, swing with your best shot. That's what I want our guys doing. Now, if we come into the conference tournament, we lose 2 games in a row, I'm okay with that, as long as we go down giving it everything we've got. If we bow over and we lose our composure and our body language is not good, then it's going to be discouraged. I'm going to be discouraged by that. But I want our guys to learn from me to go down with your head held high and giving it everything you got, carrying yourself like a player, because we have players, right? We got guys that can play baseball. Carry yourself that way. Know you're a guy. No matter if you win or lose a game, know you're a guy that can go make a play, and you're a player. Carry yourself as such. So that's what I want our guys to learn here before we go into this tournament. Respond to adversity, play clean baseball, do it for the guy next to you, do it together.
And I know on Saturday you traveled over to, or you played, I think it was Victory Christian. Didn't go the way you wanted it to in that one.
We were here.
Was it here? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
It was here one more time. I know Friday night with North Green was senior night, and then you had that game against Victory Christian. And then FCA on Monday, you did travel to play that game. Got the bat taught in that game, had 14 runs, ended up winning that one. It's always good to win the last game of your regular season. I know that's something you always want to do. You don't want to necessarily go in to tournament play on a loss, so you corrected those 3 losses with a win on Monday to go into the district tournament with a victory. Talk about how good that felt on Monday to kind of start your week with a win and set yourself on the right track going into the postseason now.
I think Monday's probably the worst game we've played all year.
Still ended up in a win too. That's always good.
We won the game. We didn't have our senior class there. That makes a huge difference in a leadership. Just the amount of leadership that our senior class brings, you can't really measure it, right? Because they elevate guys around them with their vocals, with their presence. It elevates the guys around them. And now with our seniors not being at that game and our younger guys being there and seeing that, hopefully they understand, hey, these guys aren't going to be here next year. We got to find some leadership within ourselves here.
That's what I was going to ask too,
Right.
is with a situation like that where you don't have the seniors, it's kind of a look into the future on what you're going to see next year. So those juniors and some of those sophomores will learn to be leaders in a way, but to still score 14 runs with the team that you've got coming up next year too, you saw a lot of promise in that game on Monday.
Yeah, so we only got a couple of juniors. We're super young. We've got a couple seniors, couple juniors, a load of sophomores, and a couple freshmen. So our juniors, there's only a couple of them. They're going to have to step up. They're going to have to step up. And it's probably guys that's never been asked to step up and lead before. And I'm a coach. I don't care if a freshman comes in and is a leader in our locker room. That's who it is. You know, it doesn't matter what grade you are to me. It matters about how you carry yourself. It matters about how the guys around you respect you, how they feel about you. Because how guys respect you is ultimately, that falls back on you. Because if they see a guy coming into work every day and doing what he's supposed to be doing, they're going to respect him. No matter what they feel about him, they're going to respect him. Now, at home life, they could have different home lives, different hobbies, whatever. They see a kid doing what he's supposed to be doing, he's going to be respected. And then he demands that of his teammates as well. That's a leader. So that's what we're looking for, whether it be an 8th grader about to move up to our program, whether it be somebody that comes in from outside of our program to lead. We need a vocal presence. We need a leader in our locker room. Whether it's a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, it doesn't matter. Somebody's going to have to step up next year. And we got to find those guys, because we lose. Christian, Collier, Luke put themselves in those positions. Who's going to do it next? That's the question. So without those guys, it's a big difference. But we responded well. Just going back to last Saturday's game, I don't think I touched on that one against Victory. That's a pretty good baseball team. We came in the first inning. We gave up 7 runs in the first inning. Just no energy. couldn't find the strike zone. It happens, right? I've had games where I pitched in college. I had a bad outing, couldn't find the zone. Rough day. It happens. It is what it is. The next guy came in, did a great job. Luke came in, shut him down, went 6 scoreless after that. We lost the game 7-4 after being down 7-0 in the first.
So a great response to the first inning in that game too.
Right. We battled back, and even in that game, we left so many base runners stranded. I think through 4 innings, we left 11 base runners stranded. So if you're doing math, that's every base, every inning but one. I mean,
that's a lot.
We left bases loaded 3 times. We left runners on second and third once through 4 innings. So right there, you look back at it, you're like, man, we could have had a hit here, hit there. It changes the game completely. We could have executed a bunt here, bunt there. It changes the game completely. But the response, Luke came in, did great. The defense was great. Looking back at the last week as a whole, we played great baseball. Mm-hmm. There was some circumstances we could have extended leads and put more runs on the board, but ultimately we played really competitive, high-level baseball, and that's really, really positive moving into the tournament. I think every game last week we played a lot last week. How many did we have? 5 games last week.
I think 5 games in total. You had Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
All right, we played 5 really good games with the exception of 2 innings. The extra innings against North Green, the first inning against Victory. You put all those innings together, we play phenomenal baseball for the rest of the stretch. So that's really encouraging moving into a tournament. And then FCA Monday was a tough watch because we threw a lot of young guys that we want to develop and we want to see more out of, especially losing a couple seniors. Who's going to step up and be a guy for us next year on the mound? Because we lose a big conference arm. I mean, Christian is a huge conference arm for us. He gets the ball in a lot of big games. And, you know, Gavin's put himself in a spot to kind of take that burden because I don't think he's been beat all year. Or he might have had 1 loss, 5-1 on the year. And it was a game we probably should have won. So it's encouraging seeing that from him, but who else is going to do it? You know, because we're losing guys. Who else is going to step up? So it's a little concerning to see it. I mean, we won the game, but to see our command of our pitches where they were, we got to be able to command our fastball. And I know the guys are trying their best to, but it's something we got to do in the off season.
Yeah. From
the months of June until next February, we got to find a way to hone in our mechanics and get dialed in and pound the zone consistently. So that's off-season stuff that we got to prepare for. So it's us seeing them in a game, seeing them in live action to see what we need to develop these guys through the off-season. And we've got a good gauge on it now, especially seeing them throughout the season. We've got a good gauge on where we need to develop guys in certain areas, what mechanically we need to do to a certain amount of guys. But they got to show up and put in the work. Right, and if they do that, we're going to be really successful. So it's really up to the ball's in their court now. We see what we need to do. We'll be here to do it for them as long as they show up and give us their time and effort.
And I know it's encouraging going into the postseason with a win that you got on Monday night. Played well, as you mentioned, the last time that we had sat down, those 4 games. You played well in those. Now you're going into the postseason. It's the most exciting time of the year now. I know we mentioned that you've got either West Green or Hampton. They'll square off tonight on Wednesday as we're recording this. We need to get a break in first before we talk about a little bit more into the district tournament. So we'll be right back after these messages to talk about that here on Grassroots Media.
Pizza, pancakes, or donuts. The Davy Crockett Travel Center in Baileyton has the cure for all your cravings. While you're there, shop our general store for souvenirs, gifts, and cellular accessories. In a hurry, grab a cold drink and a hot dog to go. Check us out on Facebook and come to Baileyton.
Hey, I'm Jeremy Roberts with Southland Equipment. No matter how big or how small the job might be,
we've got the right equipment to get the job done.
We
have one of the area's largest and best inventory of new Massey Ferguson Premier, Cub Cadet, and Bush Hog tractors and mowers. Our Will Stock Parts department has everything you need. Belts, blades, hoses, and filters. From 1 horse to 120 horses, we'll take care of you in our service department. Hay equipment, we do that too.
Whether you have 1 acre or 1,000, come by and see us at Southland Equipment.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Sand Meat Market Jacob Willett Show, where we cover everything on the diamond with the Chuckey-Doak Black Knights baseball team. As always, I'm here with Black Knights head coach Jacob Willett. So you got the district tournament around the corner. I know you don't play today, but you will play tomorrow. You'll play on this field one last time unless you go further into the tournament. You'll play either West Green or Hampton. They play today over at West Green. I know you kind of talked about you expected it to be West Green. Still, you'll be prepared for Hampton if you get in that scenario. But what I want to ask you is, how excited are you now that it's finally time for the postseason? I know that's the time of the year that everybody always prepares for, and your first year as a head coach, it's finally playoff time. How good do you feel going into it?
I don't know if excited is the right word. It's almost like you don't know if you've done enough to prepare your guys, right? And I think I've talked to a lot of coaches. And
you don't want to ever over-prepare.
Right. Well, I'm more... If I'm doing something, I like to be over-prepared. So if I'm giving a speech, I like to have my speech written and be prepared. And I'm like that with everything I do. If we're having a practice, I got a practice plan. I've got it scheduled. I've got everything that we've done written down. It's ready to go. For a conference tournament, it's kind of tough to do that, right? You hope that you've prepared the guys enough. You hope you've taught them everything that they need. But at the same time, this thought goes through your head, this thought goes through your head. So there's a lot that's going on, especially like as a coach now, because I'm on the other side of it now. I've been a player for the longest time. And as a player, I know me going into a conference tournament in college and even in high school, you're so excited, right? Mm-hmm. You're so excited. It's an exciting time. You can't wait to get out on the field. Now as a coach, it's exciting, but it's like, I hope I've done enough.
Yeah.
You know, I hope I've done enough. Because as a player, I didn't really worry about it because I knew I prepared. And even here as a coach, I prepare these guys. I really do. But it's just like, have I done enough? Have I done enough? But hopefully I have. I've done my, and there's a lot that I've learned this year. There's a lot that I've learned to cover that I wouldn't need to cover, right? Because coming from college to high school, it's a big jump. So you see things that you're like, do we really need to cover that? But yes, yes we do. So it's kind of, it's been a curve.
As somebody who plans accordingly, you really can't do that when it comes this time of the year either, because it's to the time where you don't. Luckily, you've locked yourself into the 1 or 2 spot to where you get that bye throughout the first round elimination games. So you don't have to worry about, well, we might not be playing tomorrow. You will be playing tomorrow, but will it be winner's bracket or will it be loser's bracket? And then you plan from there, but then after that, you have to create another plan according to what happens. So there's always 2 ways to go, but the unfortunate thing is you don't know which way you're going to go until the game's over.
And how I'm approaching it really is win the game you're playing. Win game 1. After you win game 1, you look to win game 2. We'll take it 1 game at a time. I really hope, and I wouldn't know this because I'm a coach looking into our locker room, right? I really hope our guys aren't looking forward to South Green. That's what I hope. I hope our guys aren't looking past West Green to South Green, because West Green's a team that we played really good baseball against 2 times. We played them really well. They played us really well. Probably 2 of the cleanest baseball games you'll see in high school from both teams. And we beat them by 1 run twice. It's so sketchy. It's so scary. It worries you to death. And our guys in our locker room, I don't know how they're feeling, but they could be looking past we beat West Green twice. We're fine. No, we need our best baseball to beat West Green again. Because I don't want them looking forward to South Green, who they kind of want revenge against a little bit. I want them in the moment. I want them present in the moment.
Because to get to that stage, you have to be present in the moment and beat the team that's ahead of you.
You're going to get the other team's best shot. You're going to get the best punch. Everybody's going to play their best baseball. Nobody's wanting their season to end. Everybody's wanting to be district champions. Everybody's wanting to be district champions. So it's one of those things where it's like you have to be in the moment. You have to be locked in. You have to go to bat willing to do damage. You have to go on defense willing to make a play. You got to go on the mound willing to compete. That's all you can control. So I hope our guys show up in the moment and they're present. That's what I hope for tomorrow's game. Hopefully we get a good result, and it's exciting. It is exciting. Exciting's an interesting word, but it's exciting. It's nervy. It's all of those things. But I hope I've done my part to prepare these guys. That's my biggest thing, because at the end of the day, if I've done my part to prepare them, and they do things the right way, and we don't get the result that we're looking for, I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
I think going into a district tournament or a regional tournament, you can kind of explain all of your feelings in a pie chart. You're 30% excited, you're maybe 20% nervous, maybe 25% stressed, and maybe 25% something else too, because you have so many emotions going into it, where the playoffs are so fun, but you also have that in the back of your mind, like, man, we don't want to get bounced the first 2 games.
Right.
We want to make it to regionals, and then we want to give ourselves a chance to play sub-state. Could you play sub-state here? Play one more time for the seniors. You want to go to the state tournament. That's always your ultimate goal at the end of the day, but you always have those thoughts like, man, I'm excited to maybe get to that stage, but I'm afraid maybe we don't. And it's always such a mixed bottle of emotions. You can just shake them up, and a different emotion is what you feel every 5 minutes.
It is. That's a good way to sum it up there. It really is. And looking at regionals, we know we can compete within our region, right? We beat a top team. We beat a top team from the other conference that comes together to make our region. So we know we can compete there. Moving on to sub-state, Pigeon Forge has just demolished everybody from the other region. So we looked at that and we're like, we can compete sub-state. We got to come out of our conference.
Yeah.
Right? Our conference is
just as tough.
It's tough. And because the 3 teams that are at the top, I would say, can beat anybody on any given day.
Mm-hmm.
They can beat like, we play our best baseball, we may be top 10 in the state. We really might be. West Green plays their baseball, they might be too. South Green plays really well, they might be too.
It's a thick conference.
Right. And it seems like everybody's up this year across the board. So it's one of those things where it's like, you got to take it one game at a time. You got to win the first one. And then from the first one, you move on to the second one. But you can't move on to the second one until you win the first one.
Hopefully next week when we sit down, we'll still be talking about baseball ahead of us. I know, unfortunately, there's going to be one team in the county that gets put out this week, whether it be you, South Green, or West Green, or South Green or West Green. But hopefully we can sit down next week, talk some more baseball. Hopefully it's not a recap show. Until then, best of luck. Got one more game out here tomorrow, whether that be West Green or Hampton. We'll find out soon enough. But that's it for this week. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Sam Meat Market Jacob Willett Show. We look forward to seeing y'all next time here on Grassroots Media.
Are you